Hi, I'm Dave, CEO of Spark. Welcome to Head to Head, where I invite colleagues and guests to dive into sales promotion campaigns from the vault. The good, the bad, and the downright genius. We're unpacking what worked, what didn't, and what you can learn for your next sales promotion campaign. If you've got thoughts on this episode, we'd love to hear them. Pop them in the comments, and if you've enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe so that you're the first to hear when we release a new episode. So Louise, we're British, so we're obsessed by queuing, tea, royal family, football, and the weather. Right, so we thought we'd talk a little bit about weather promotions today. A couple of years ago, there was one promotion in particular that ran away with the Grand Prix award from the IPM Awards, which was from an agency in Manchester called Hopper, working with Aldi. And it was, I remember seeing it actually at the time when we were judging the awards, and it had, I don't know quite how, but it had passed me by. I'd not seen it until the award entry came through, and I was just blown away by it. I thought it was brilliant. So the promotion, so the I think it was a PR agency called Clarion that had established through some research that the perfect temperature where the country starts drinking rosé is 19.2 degrees. So what they did was they set up a billboard in Manchester with all sorts of gizmos and gubbins behind it, where when the temperature did hit 19.2 degrees, the taps opened and members of the public could go and help themselves to a glass of rosé, which was lovely. So it's why did they choose Manchester? I'm not entirely sure. I think
19.2 degrees.
19.2.
I'm not going to hit that very often.
Well, it does. It might be raining, but it hits it sometimes. But I think there was some research built into it. I think that more rosé was consumed per head in Manchester than anywhere else in the country, and that's why they chose it. But it was a brilliant campaign, and really sort of lit up social media. People loved it. Got loads of coverage in local press. I'm led to believe. As I say, I'd missed it, and it's my part of the world. But I do remember seeing it at the IPM Awards. Did you see it at the time?
I did. I didn't see it at the time, but again, I saw it in the awards, and I loved it as well. I thought, weather is so interesting because it's one of the things that creates immediate demand. It changes your behaviour immediately. So, like you say, people who are out and about, the weather hits a certain temperature. What a lovely thing to do. It just hammers that point home, doesn't it? That this product belongs with this type of scenario, atmosphere. Yeah, so really nice.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing you wander past as well, and it just catches you, and you can see people socially just taking a snap on the phone immediately, and it going nationwide and perhaps worldwide very quickly. So no, really successful campaign. Not totally unique. So weather promotions is particularly in the UK, but also further afield is something that's been happening forever, really. Guinness sort of ran the opposite campaign in Australia the year before, actually, where they figured that there was a temperature that the weather needed to drop to before people really got stuck into Guinness. So they did a similar thing, but the other way around. So when I don't know what the temperature was, but when the temperature dropped to a certain level, then they'd release coupons, and you could have a pint of Guinness. Stella did a similar sort of thing, where the temperature being at a similar sort of level released coupons. There was also Walkers famously had their Rainy Days campaign, which I don't know if do you remember much about that one. So Walkers and we. So I used to work for a company called Photorama, risk management business, and we quoted on this one at the time, and from memory we didn't win it, which is probably a good thing because it paid out over £500,000. It was a really nice campaign. So there was a code on pack, and you bought the pack, entered the code into a promotional website, and then there was a grid across the UK, and you had to select a square on the grid. I can't remember how big they were, but there were thousands of them. A square on the grid, and if rain fell in that square within a 3-hour window that you were choosing, then you got paid a tenner.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly, and it rains in the UK,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, I think there was something like 800,000 entries and over £500,000 paid out. So it tells you exactly what sort of the level was. They were a bit naughty as well, because I know early on in the campaign the entry rate was so high they dropped it from 2 entries, I think, per day per person down to 1. And as you know, changing the terms and conditions after a promotion started is an absolute no-no. So there were some complaints about it at the time. But another really nice campaign. Why do you think weather promotion? Is it just the UK that weather promotions really hit home with, do you think?
I think, I've seen some examples of it happening elsewhere. A recent example in Thailand, again to do with rain. So they have a big rainy season. And when it rains, it really rains.
Pause.
So a chain of supermarkets, the Lotus chain, obviously recognised that when it was pouring down with rain, their supermarkets were less busy. And then when it stopped, obviously there would be a big, huge, high traffic footfall. So they then worked with an agency to come up with rain coupons, as they called them, which were stencilled on the pavement outside the supermarket. And the stenciling would stay dry when the weather was wet, and they would show coupons and money off.
Nice.
And so it encouraged people to come out when it was raining, take a quick snap of this coupon that otherwise was invisible to the naked eye. And they could go in and then they could get some money off their shopping. So
Nice.
I suppose the idea behind it was to average out the footfall, was to make use of the rainy days, to give people a reason to come out and not just wait for the rain to stop, which is a really nice idea, I think, because, somewhere like that, it's still going to be warm.
Yeah.
You might get yourself wet, but you can then, quickly dry up afterwards. And in the rainy season, it rains a lot. So.
Well, yeah, very different to Manchester. Trust me, as a Manchester-born person, you're very rarely dry. So I think that's probably a better location for it than it is in Manchester. But a brilliant campaign. Weather promotions, hopefully, long may they run. I'm sure they will. It's perfect for the UK, where we never shut about the damn weather. So really nice campaign. Not sure if it's too early for us to have a glass of wine. I'm not even sure it's 19.2 degrees in here, to be honest. But maybe we'll have a glass later. But a really nice campaign and beautifully run.
Yeah.
So we just finished talking about weather campaigns, and we forgot to talk about one which we really wanted to mention, because for different reasons we both love it, and that will become obvious as we talk through it. So Pantene ran a campaign called Haircast a few years ago. Pantene, not a brand that I'm overly familiar with, as you can probably imagine, but they ran a really nice campaign based on the weather, where essentially when it was a high humidity period, or indeed an extra dry period, and people were having bad hair days — every day's a good hair day for me. If people were having a bad hair day, they'd release coupons, and you could go and treat yourself to the products that were specific to whatever sort of a hair day it was.
Oh, gosh.
So as somebody that really can't comment on that sort of thing, it sounds like a great idea to me.
Oh my God, I love it, totally. Someone with curly hair, naturally curly hair, where every day's a bad hair day, absolutely brilliant. I mean, just taps into that scenario that we all face.
All of us?
Well, yeah. Whereby you want a brand to be thinking about you. So, giving something back, and bad hair days are something we all know about. So I think that was absolutely genius, and I just love the idea. So
a bit of humour as well, which always helps promotionally.
We're always, and Pantene are quite good at that, actually. So yeah, just the thought that you wake up and, I've many times in high humidity. So being able to get some money off my serum just to tone things down on that particular day, I love it.
Works well.
Yeah.
Good. We had to come back to that. Obviously close to both our hearts for different reasons, very different reasons, but another really nice weather-based campaign.